Out of curiosity, I've recently been researching praying Indian towns and discovered a deep and rich history, which I will not attempt to fully cover here, but will continue to expand upon in future episodes. The term praying Indian refers to different groups of Native Americans from New England, New York, Ontario, and Quebec who converted to Christianity, either voluntarily or involuntarily. In the case of the Indians at the praying village of Nashobah Plantation, however, the conversion was voluntary. Likewise, the term praying village or praying town refers to one of many locations set up exclusively for the use of Indians who converted, or were forced to convert, to Christianity. You could say the story of the Nashobah praying village begins when the English government chartered the Massachusetts Bay Colony in 1628. Of high priority to the English was the conversion of the Indians to Christianity, and a promise to do so was deep in the charter itself. It reads, "Whereby our people said, Inhabitants there may be so religiously, peaceably, and civilly governed, as their good life and orderly conversation may win and incite the natives of country to the knowledge and obedience of the only true God and Savior of mankind, and the Christian faith, which in our Royal Intention and the adventurer's free profession is the principal end of this plantation." When the Massachusetts Bay Colony began, though, not much was done for about 15 years to meet this end. Then, in 1646, the General Court of Massachusetts passed an Act for the propagation of the gospel amongst the Indians. And although not much happened right away, Reverend John Eliot, who had arrived in the colony at Boston on November 3rd, 1631, and who had already learned Algonquin, the language of the Massachusetts Indians, began preaching to them. Also in 1646, after a dismal failure at Neponset and Dorchester to preach to and convince Sachem Cuchemakin and his braves to convert to Christianity, Eliot decided to approach a lesser-statured native leader, Wabun, son-in-law of the Sachem at Concord. Wabun and a small group of Indians lived on the southwest slope of Nonantum Hill, which is the town line of present-day Newton and Brighton, and on October 18, 1646, Eliot delivered a 3-hour sermon to the group. After the sermon, most of which was spoken by Eliot in Algonquin, Wabun said to him, "We need more ground to build our town on." Eliot replied, "I will speak to the General Court about that." Shortly thereafter, on November 4th, 1646, the General Court of the Massachusetts Bay Colony granted the Indians the desired land. The court also appointed a commission, including Reverend Eliot, to attend to the matter. Eliot and crew then founded Nonantum, the first praying Indian town in Massachusetts Bay Colony. Less than 5 years later, relations between the English and the Indians had deteriorated so much, and the distrust of the Indians at Nonantum was so high that Eliot was forced to move the entire community 15 miles west to Natick in 1651. By 1654, Eliot had set up 4 more praying Indian towns before establishing Nashobah Plantation as the 6th such village in what is now mostly present-day Littleton, Massachusetts. Our search begins in modern-day Littleton, Massachusetts, somewhere within the bounds of the original Nashobah Plantation. We are on private land with the owner's knowledge and consent. In this episode, and several more that will follow, we will attempt to locate ceremonial stone features and Eastern Native American iconography and stonework on the land that once made up the praying town of Nashobah Plantation. Hey, Matt Adams here in Littleton, Massachusetts today, checking out some stone features. Right now we're at this well, or spring. Doug describes it as a spring, so let's check this out. Now, Doug said that this was the water source for a house that's not too far away, and that's quite possible. It is pretty wide, and it does go pretty deep. Hey, Doug. Stop telling us about your heart attack and start showing us how deep this goes.
That's good. It keeps going.
Yeah, so it's pretty deep. Wow.
Oh, he goes in head first on that.
All right, so how tall is that stick? And then
4 feet.
All right, so 4 feet.
At least 5 feet below water surface.
All right, interesting. Cool. All right, well, that's it for this well.
So why are we looking for ceremonial stone structures and other Native American iconography in what used to be the Nashobah Plantation? Weren't the Indians there converted to Christianity and not supposed to be engaging in powwowing, shamanism, and their other traditional native religious practices? Well, yes, but there were some Indians like Tantamouse who lived a dual role for the entirety of his life, as well as the fact that before the area was organized as the Nashobah Plantation, it had been lived on for hundreds and hundreds of years, if not thousands more. This means that there very well may have been pre-existing stone structures in the area. If there were, are there any still surviving today? If there are, will we find them? What secrets, if any, do they hold? If so, will they be revealed to us? Will we find the secrets encoded within them? And if we do, when was the last time someone looked at them and knew what they were? And speaking of secrets, let's talk about what those are and how we find them. In the Native American worldview, the sun, moon, stars, meteor showers, and Milky Way are important, and indigenous people all across both North and South America encoded significant alignments into their structures. From Chaco Canyon in the western U.S. to Teotihuacan in Mexico, to the Majorville Medicine Wheel in Alberta, Canada, to the Temple of the Sun at Machu Picchu, Peru, and more. One of the tools we used to look for these alignments was dubbed the Stupid Sheet by either Jick Davis or Peter Waxman, and when I asked both of them who helped develop it, they simply blamed each other, but also said that Harvard astronomer Fred Seward helped. But the Stupid Sheet is a chart that shows us where solstices and equinoxes of the sun, major and minor standstills of the moon, the Perseid meteor shower, the Seven Sisters constellation, aka the Pleiades, and locations of the Milky Way that tie into the skyworld and underworld are in the sky or on the horizon. It's important to note that the Stupid Sheet was designed for use at this particular latitude, but we'll get back to the Stupid Sheet in a minute.
All right, Doug, tell us about this.
Yeah, the owner of the land tells me that this was the original farm or garden. He remembers his grandfather growing all sorts of stuff here. In the 1700s, the original owner was a carpenter and a minister, not really a farmer. Maybe a couple of cows, a gentleman farm. And this was kept clear up until about 20 years ago by relatives. They kept trying to kind of keep it going. And this was probably, again, where the original Indians grew corn and squash and beans.
Cool. All right. Thanks.
We use the Stupid Sheet in conjunction with smartphone apps like Compass, Sunseeker, Moonseeker, and Stellarium to locate alignments amongst various stone features. And finding alignments doesn't just happen either. You have to know where to look and what to look for. You'll see us find a few later, and we make it look really easy, but we're experienced researchers and it took us time to be able to find alignments with such ease. Since Nashobah had an average population of only 50 people from its inception in 1654 until Daniel Gookin, assistant to Reverend Eliot, reported the same in 1674, one would have a hard time imagining that the totality of stonework was constructed during that time, given that the area was so large. Only a portion of the 50 people would have been the ones focused on said construction anyway, most likely being the men. Until some of these structures are dated by optically stimulated luminescence, a process that can tell when a stone last received sunlight was, we won't know for sure how old they are. But as you'll see in the coming episodes, there's quite a lot of stonework that survives today.
What have we got here? Some strange stone piles.
Could Did you see through that bramble of mess? Is that a circle of stones or?
It just looked like rocks. I don't know. What's this though? Time that someone into.
Maybe stone dump. Oop. This one.
It looks really random.
There's a piece of quartz over here, but there's a random piece. If it was in the center, I'd say maybe something different, but no. Could have been something.
It just looks like random rubble to me.
That's what I
Different
think.
sizes and everything. We don't see uniformity of shape. We don't see uniformity of size. And this one's even more crazy, but we do have some quartz in it.
Yeah, that's what it's right there.
Yeah. Yeah, this just looks random to me.
Does though.
But two side by side, the path goes right between them. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks old right now.
Well, yeah. No uniformity of size or shape. It's all different stuff. All right, show us the way. What else do we have to see?
A walled-in area where the two streams come together,
Yeah.
where there's big piles, little niches in the walls, but not real fancy walls. I want to see the boulder on the spring, and I think that's somewhere that way.
Come to this point in the stone wall where we've got maybe some building up or strange anomalies, but there's this part in here that's sort of hollowed out. We've got another part in there that's hollowed out.
Is the bird up it?
Yeah, it comes up, comes over and it flows right back to there, but doesn't go past right
This is like the same that we saw at that other place when we had Rick and Sarah and everybody else with us.
Right, is something there?
No, Foxborough.
Foxborough, right.
Yeah, this is the same, almost that same kind of feel, except what I'm talking about is when it widens out here, it's got that same feel, but the only difference is thanks. The only difference is these hollow spots in it. One of the things that comes to mind for these hollow spots is trees that are now gone, maybe that grew up out of there or were there when this stuff was put here. But other than that, I don't have any other explanation for these holes. What are you guys thinking? Right next to the stone wall with the oddities, we've got this old cart path. Goes all the way out and around. Came from across the stream. Got these stone walls up here. Got an old post with barbed wire. stone wall on that side. Now Dave led us up over this way. Said he had found a stone pile. And he said from a quick glance, he thinks it was used for building the stone wall. So let's go have a look at that.
This is going to be for the wall. We'll look closer. But then when you come over, it doesn't look randomly thrown in. That looks placed. When you walk around the backside, it's got the same kind of thing as here.
Like a depression
Yeah,
and
there's
something that looks arranged.
There's a row of stones that go straight out. And then Doug just went to the second pile. That's over there.
Okay.
So if you walk around this side.
Yeah, it's quite covered in moss. And duff. And ferns.
Looks like this was built up and slid.
We have a possible Manitou stone. Maybe.
You have a row of stones here to come off.
Did you take a direction on this?
Where's my compass? Compass.
What do we got, like 88?
Yeah. You walking on top of that? Guys, you've learned by now.
All I did was put the phone down and it landed on 90 and now it's on 80, 89. We can get it directly on 90. So, what I was calling a Manitou stone, the first second I saw it, also appears to align to 90 degrees right through the pile. And there's a dip in the wall further out. Let's see if we can. It's behind the stick here. No, I'm just trying to point it out on the. It's behind the stick here, the little dip in the wall. Well. Okay, so what do we have? Like a single row of stones, it looks like?
That leads off into the swamp. Yeah, Doug
Or comes out of the swamp.
comes out of the swamp. Doug was on the second pile.
Yeah.
How you gonna get over there?
We've got a boulder here with stones on top. Yeah, he's around back behind me somewhere. Looks like mostly quartz. Okay. Dave, you got another pile on top of a boulder up here?
Stone pile's right there.
That's interesting.
Did that originally come from here?
I don't know.
All a bunch of stone on top.
Yeah. That's probably going to go to 90 is my guess. What do you got?
90, 91, 92,
Pretty much nailed it.
92.
Pretty much nailed it. Alright, so where's that other pile? Oh, are you kidding me? This is the pile?
Is it? Doug, was that a stone pile? You walked on it. Oh. It's stone heap.
Wow.
Kind of dimpled, but not. Again, everything is old and centered. The one over there is the one with the standing stone. What's your take, man?
A large pile right next to wetland. Geez, I don't know. So if you're, let's reason this out. If you're clearing this land for a farm, do you drag all of these stones down here
Nope.
near the swamp? And do you build a pile near the swamp? Or do you make these, make walls out of these? Huh?
Pretty symmetrical.
Yeah.
It's not just randomly thrown here.
This one has more structure to it.
Oh, is that one over there?
Yeah.
Oh, we get another giant one over there, huh?
Yeah.
So there's at least 3 right here, but there's supposed to be 12.
Wow. And they're all near the wetland.
Yep. They're all where the two streams come together, and it's walled in.
Or it's walled out.
What's the difference?
Well, I mean, if it's
surrounded.
if it's
by
walled
walls.
out, then this means it's like wetland, and they weren't going to do anything on this land. If the walls came later, let's say just for argument's sake,
1 second.
for argument's sake, let's say this pile was here first, right? And farmers came later, and they walled out this section because it's too wet to farm or do anything with, or too rocky even. Some of this over here might be too rocky to do anything with.
Yeah, no, this one definitely wasn't usable, but that wall doesn't look colonial to me. It's got niches in it. It's got little...
Yeah, the other thing is too, Dave went over, he's like, oh, we got a pointer stone on top of the wall. I'm like, Dave, that's going to be 90 or close to it. And what did you come up with, Dave?
90, 92.
Yeah.
If you walk... We were on the wrong side of that wall. If you walk on this side, you see all the little structures built into it.
2 of the mounds are on the LiDAR.
Yeah.
Did you go to that one?
I'm heading over there now.
And you're not going to make it this way. You can go around this way. But I would look at that wall.
Give me a piggyback.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Lift me over.
You get one leg, I'll get the other one. Carry like a Super Bowl champion.
Well, let's look at this pile first anyway. does look like larger rocks on bottom and then smaller rocks on top. But if you were clearing land, wouldn't that make sense? But why would you have the base of it so large? That's a really large base. I know they're big stones, but what's the point? And then we've got, I mean, it's so large. The base is so large. This is just a big pile. And do you build the side up like this? It's also round. Okay, from the base of that tree, comes around like this. And it continues to be round. If you were building a stone mound, let's say you're clearing stuff, would you make it round? And it is round. Okay, let's say you're trying to clear land of stone. Why the dead space right here? Why make the pile round? Why not utilize as much space? It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. And there are even large stones on the top, but then there are smaller ones over that side. Okay, that's it from this mound. I'm going to try to get to that one. Alright, so this is kind of an anomaly. It looks like the wall maybe fell over a little bit, but like even this, the placement of this particular stone, even if it fell over, like what was the original placement of this stone? Was it balanced up on top of this small spot here, and when this fell over it came with it, and now it's standing up? Or was this wall originally built like this to lock this small, thin, long stone into an upright position? We do have a broken tree right here, and even though it looks like it fell the other way, that doesn't mean that there wasn't a tree here in the past that could have knocked this over this way. The interesting thing here is, if we look at this from the side, look at that. Come on, camera, pay attention. it looks like a Manitou stone. Like this would be the neck, and the sides would be the shoulders.
Look at how this is open under and hanging.
Yeah.
Totally clear.
Yeah.
Get down and look that way.
That's another thing too. Look at that. And what's the purpose of this small stone here? Like, what's that there for? Not sure if you have any thoughts, Dave, but I'm wondering if this part of the stone wall sort of fell this way,
Right.
and this originally was balanced on top of this like square spot here, this flat spot. Yeah, because if this was balanced here and it was pointing into a certain direction, that would make sense. And this one, when you look at it, like say this is the bottom, that's the top. Why isn't the camera working? Come on. Say this is the bottom and that's the top. That looks like a shoulders and neck, doesn't it? Like a Manitou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those type in this wall.
So this part of the wall has me really curious. Those two stones. Do we have any alignment on this? What's your compass say, Dave?
331.
Yeah.
Again, does it have a little S in? Yes. But,
Not enough.
right, I would say it's disturbed from roots to make it, because the other side looks relatively straight. And usually the walls I find that have S's, it's fairly, you can clearly see it.
Bigger S.
Yeah, so it's much more defined. This has a little bit from here to maybe here. It's obvious. But the rest, I don't know about the rest of it. Looks like it's fallen a few times in different spots.
Dave, what did you get on this?
230? Yeah. Maybe I should lay it down from now on.
Just, let's get a more accurate.
So 329?
Okay, because at 325 we got the lunar standstill.
25.
And at 335 we've got the exit to the sky world.
Okay, 35 would look more,
Yeah.
right?
Let's let me get my compass out. I don't know if it's 335. It looks like probably not, but it might only be a few degrees off, but we could account for that by the Earth's shift. So what do we actually have? We've got like maybe .343, 344, I think. That's what, 6 degrees?
Yeah, that's a jump.
It is a jump, but maybe we could account for that, for how old this wall is.
Okay, so I have to cut in for a second to let you know what I'm talking about here. There was an experiment done by John Delano to track the movement of the magnetic North Pole over time. And he used old stone walls and LiDAR and a few other things as reference points for how far the magnetic pole has shifted since those walls were built. While I don't yet know how to calculate that, it's important to know that a method does exist that could potentially give us a date on the walls and could possibly prove if it predates the arrival of Europeans in the area, or maybe even if it was built during the time of the Nashobah Plantation itself.
All right, let's keep going here. All right, so we're looking at this stone wall, and we've got questions about it, or we've got observations about it. I'm here with Doug and Dave, and we're gonna fill you in.
So my theory is Doug thinks it's a possible serpent wall with essing to it. And my only objection to that is what trees were not here to see now that could have been here and disturbed it to push it out.
Right?
This tree right here is, those roots go past this wall.
Sure.
So when that falls one day, it's gonna
Pull pull that
with it.
wall up, yeah.
But some of it also looks like it's designed.
Right. We were saying that a second ago.
Snake.
Some of it looks like it's. Oh, yeah.
Garden snake just went in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Some of it looks like it's collapsed or tumbled down, but then other parts of it look like double stacked and almost built up again on the other side of what was one part, or
Yeah.
you know.
Like over here. This looks like this is falling right here.
Right.
But you come over here where it's still fell down. And that's a double stack.
Right. This is double stacked, but it's only in a certain area. It's not the whole thing, right?
That's in there. This obviously fell this way at some point. It pulled that stack down.
Right. But could this be, a part of an altar, or could this be the tail of a snake? Or, I mean, look here, it kind of comes out, right? What's the purpose for it coming out this way?
Lead into the swamp.
Is that another snake? If it is in fact an effigy? Dave's out
You know
there.
what? If you follow those little stones, there comes a bigger stone, I think you let over that other pile.
Oh wow. So the tail, if it is a tail, this comes out here
That's in here.
and points directly to that large pile that I was just at. Wow, good observation, man.
A real good one.
Yeah, that was cool. Alright, so we've got this section here sort of built out. This weird stone here, it's all wavy. That's an odd stone. Possible place for an effigy placing, or like a donation, tobacco or something. And then when we go further back, got some other observations over here. This particular stone is interesting to look at. It's got sort of a triangular peak on it. Could that be a tail? Could that be a rattle of a snake? Could that be a spike or something? We've got another section built out here. And then we've got another piece of quartz, or another stone with quartz extrusion, and we've got a possible Manitou stone with the neck here and the shoulders, and also a flat standing stone, or it probably wouldn't have been standing, but maybe it was placed that way. And then back here, what do we have? There's something else we had. Oh yeah, Doug pointed this out. This is a sort of little, like a little swoop outwards, or like an S shape, and then on the inside of that, there's a little stone there. We got a mole or a mouse in there running around. So that's an interesting build right there. And why is this as small as it is? It's not double built like some of the rest of it is. Why? And then we've got this other quartz extrusion from a large stone.
We have a possible find that stone on top if you're walking this direction.
Right, and this seems to be built up. It's possible there were some other things that were knocked over, but yeah. And then there's another little hole in there.
Anything that comes off here to this stone pile.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff in this wall.
There we go. Just a quartz here. They come off of anything that will go to there. Another line up to a pile.
Yeah. So we got this quartz here. Wow, good find, Dave. We've got this piece of quartz here pointing straight to this piece of quartz here, which points straight out to the pile that we were first at.
Those stones here. Doesn't appear to have any quartz in it.
It's been there a while.
It's points here.
Huh. This is the first pile we were at.
Which then goes straight to that pile.
Right. Doug, do me a favor. Go stand next to the quartz extrusion in the wall. Dave, do me a favor and stand where you found the quartz on the ground. And I'm going to go on the other side of this pile so we can see the line. Alright, so Doug is pointing to the quartz extrusion in the wall. Dave is pointing to the piece of quartz on the ground. And then those are in line with this pile right here. So Dave is standing at that weird standing stone. We don't know if it was standing originally or just laying down pointing. But that stone is in line with this stone pile and that stone pile. Do we have any alignment with this? This is like east-west. This is on an east-west axis.
It's dead west as I look at you.
Yeah, and I'm dead east as I look at you. Trying to get the right. Yep. And then, wow, this is like a dead east-west axis. That's crazy. And the other thing, Dave, too, this stone that I'm standing on, it's all quartz down here. This is all quartz here. It was harder to see in the shade, but like, get out of the light.
Yeah, hold on.
You see? It's all quartz.
Oh, most definitely is.
So you got 3 quartz stones in a row from
Right.
those over there to this in an alignment. Now what do we have on that axis? 66 or 65, 66, 67, maybe 68. Okay, so that's what we got. Now, let's pull out the stupid sheet again, see what we got at 66, 67, 68.
There's a little notch in there.
Well, 65 is the lunar standstill.
And there is again.
Alignment's all over the place.
Right. I mean, that's nuts. Like, how do we just find this?
Your scout took a walk across the wall.
No, I mean like
That's amazing, isn't it?
like we're just out here looking at stone piles and stone walls, and then all of a sudden there's alignments to stuff. Like, we're not making this up.
Nope.
We found the stones first, then looked for an alignment. We found 3 quartz stones in a row. Wow. I mean, I'm just kind of floored. And then with the east-west access, what do you got there? Where's that other piece of quartz? And the wall out there?
Right there.
That's it? No, not that one. The other one.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah, where's the other one?
Where's the other quartz stone? We want that.
No, not that one. Wasn't there one back there? There was another one back there somewhere.
Right.
This is just incredible.
Did I walk by it?
Yeah, maybe. Come back to where I'm pointing.
Right here.
Are you kidding me? Dude, it's dead on. It's a straight line. What? Stay there. Don't move. Hang on.
Now, with Doug's theory of S, put this flat stone back up on top and then hit S right here.
Wow. Stay there, Dave. Hold on a second. Let me just get a shot of this. Alright, so we got Dave out at that other stone with the quartz extrusion. This is the stone on the ground that he found, the other quartz stone. And then this here is the other stone with quartz. So we've got another 3 quartz stones in perfect alignment. The angle on that was like 28 degrees to 30 degrees northeast. Maybe it's, what do you got coming back this way? 210 southwest. All right. 210 southwest. Let's see what's on the stupid sheet. What do we got at 210 southwest? Nothing. We got nothing. So maybe it's something we don't know about yet. Maybe it's nothing. But either way, all right, we got something. At least we've got some kind of repeatable pattern. So bizarre. I was just starting to film because I thought that exact same thing. From this angle, it looks like a Manitou.
That looks like it could have been a meat. I don't know. Again, it looks like it's kind of falling this way. I was wondering if it was more flat at one time.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of interesting shaped stones.
Yeah, for real.
Would Dan say these are chisels? Probably, right?
Yeah, but Lee Erickson put it here.
You're gonna bring that geologist guy.
Sorry.
But he might not know about quarrying.
You know? You really need a quarry expert to verify Dan.
Right.
Because I don't know if he really knows it.
He would be a prime example of the root causing the essing, as I say.
Even this thing, it's sitting on the point and open both sides.
so here we've got the LiDAR for the site. I want to show you a couple of things. First is, this is the area of the stone wall that we were looking at. This here is the first stone pile that we come to. This here is the second large stone pile that we looked at. This is a third large stone pile that I didn't actually make it to, so we didn't have any footage of this, and we didn't get, oh, I didn't get up close to this. Doug and Dave did. But you can see the stone wall here, and it doesn't close. It's not enclosed on this end. We don't know if this is a stone wall. I don't think it is, because we walked through that area, or we at least looked through it, and we didn't see a stone wall there. The other thing is this little area of water. This whole area is flooded with water. So we didn't have any large amount of rain recently, but that there is a stream going through here on this side, and it does kind of leak all the way through. So very strange. I remember Doug said that there were 12 stone piles, but he couldn't recall finding them all, and there may not be, but the fact that these large stone piles are out here, they're also in the middle of this stone wall. If you were going to be building stone walls, if these were stone wall building piles, why are the two most built up ones furthest away from the wall? Doesn't make any sense. If you're going to be using this for building walls, aren't you going to be putting it in a location that it's easy to access when you're actually building a wall? So that's just another thing that kind of you can argue against. Oh, that's just a field clearing pile, or it's a farmer's field clearing pile, or a stone pile, or a stone wall building pile. That argument just doesn't fly. So that's it for this, and let's get back to the video.
We have the Manitou stone,
Yeah.
the head, the shoulders, and then you could have your offerings placed here.
Yeah.
I don't see many stones like that.
The L stone.
Be careful.
Yep. I know. Yeah, more quartz, right?
We'll even let Doug say it. In essence,
And again, subtle S.
what's this piece down here? That was probably up. I'm thinking these were up here at one time.
I'm sorry, that's not the head, that's the tail. The head is that rough guitar.
Yes, well, you know, they needed something to do with their rusty old guy.
These two stones on the rock caught my attention because I saw this before once in Connecticut. Two stones next to each other pointing in a direction. So I just noticed these two stones, small flat stones, placed on top of this larger stone, right in the middle of the back larger U-shaped construction. And these two flat stones on top of a larger stone is something that's been documented before at quite a lot of sites, especially in the Connecticut and Rhode Island area. I want to get a compass reading on this because it sort of points directly through the smaller U-shaped structure. Oh, what do you think it is, Mike? It's like almost dead on 90 degrees.
Is it?
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
We haven't found it. Over where we live before. Serpentine walls are amazing. The cairn is amazing. It's right on the side of our road.
It's crazy. 90 degrees.
Well, what is that signify?
I would say that this would be an alignment. That these two stones are,
These pointing like?
yeah, just because the two lines in between, or the one line in between it, where they separate, that's at 90 degrees. What are the chances of that happening, like,
Random.
randomly, or even somebody just like a farmer doing that?
Yeah.
Look how it looks.
And put the compass on it, and it's got 330 northwest, which is the exit to the underworld. Very intriguing. Well, that concludes our little excursion here in Littleton.
There was enough though to come back, right?
Oh yeah. We found some real cool stuff. It was a slow start, but I think we finished strong, right?
I believe we did. I think we finished very strong.
More here.
All right, let's say adios.
Adios for now.
Well, you got to get in the frame first. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Dave's hiding. Doug's being weird.
Thanks for scouting, Dave.
Thanks for scouting, Dave. Thanks for
Thanks
bringing
for
us
joining us,
here,
guys.
Doug. Thanks for bringing us here, Doug.
Doug, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, adios.
We're out.
Skeeter.